apparently I've got to start each day with a smile. So here's my smile. And I can end it, apparently, with a gin. And it even has my name on it to prove. So here we go. Here's my gin. And it's Friday. So, to the letter, I am going to be having a nice glass of cold gin. Not just yet though, because it is only, I think the clock's stopped, 20 to 5. Is that right? 20 to 5? I don't know, you can't tell me. You don't know either, do you? Oh, it could be. Yeah, 20 to 5. I thought it was later than that. So no, I can't have one yet. But it's going to sit there ready. It's ready for me. I'm waiting, look. I've got some new little glasses that my son and daughter-in-law bought me as one of my little Christmas presents. And they bought me one of these cameras that you put in your car. And they bought me some glasses because they know what I'm like. I'm always smashing things. So they bought me these. But they're really thin at the top. I like a thin-edged glass. You know what I mean? When you drink out of it. And so I've got that ready. I've got my new straws that I bought this week. My little straws. That's going in there. So I'm all set up and ready for my gin. And there's my little card. So there we go. Looking forward to that. So before I have that, I've got to cook some dinner. And then I can have my gin with my dinner. So for dinner, we are going to have a lasagna. Now, I haven't got everything out. Sorry, Mother. So I will get everything out and I will come back to you. I'm going to be using some lasagna sheets that you don't have to pre-soak. I think these days, most lasagna sheets, you don't have to pre-soak them. It's a bit of a fag, isn't it? Who wants to do that? Not me. So I'm just going to get out a few bits and pieces that I'm going to be needing. Because it's going to be, of course, because I'm doing it, it's going to be slightly different. Oh, hang on. Oh, God, if I can reach in this cupboard. Honestly, you've got to be over 6 foot to live in this house to reach in all these cupboards. I've never known cupboards so high. Right, so, what have I got? I've got some butter beans. I'm going to do something a little bit different with those. With the butter beans, I need some garlic. Hopefully I've got some. If not, I've got some garlic puree. And by the look of things, it's going to have to be garlic puree. So I must put some garlic on my next shopping list. So butter beans and garlic puree. Got my lasagna sheets. I've got my 5% fat mince. And a little bit of beef gravy granules because I do like to beef it up a little bit. Then I've got some tomatoes. I haven't got new potatoes, don't want them at all. And you're going to need something to, you know, give it a bit of flavour. So I've got some pepper and some Liam Perrin, of course, some salt. And you're going to want a little bit of tomato puree. I know I've got a chilli one. I'm just hoping I've got a blimmin'... I don't want to put chilli in a lasagna, to be honest. So hopefully I've got a tomato... God, I've got enough tins of tuna to feed the old street. Ah, ha 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 ha. Tomato puree. So you can go back to monkey, don't want you. And some God, the kid next door. Well, he's not next door, he's up there at the back. God, he's bellowing his head off. Some oregano. And a little bit of rosemary. Can't beat a bit of rosemary on a Friday. And anything else I can find, basically, in my fridge. So, in my fridge and see what I've got, and I'll come back. Right, so I've got a courgette, 1 onion remaining, that was quite handy, some carrots, and a few mushrooms that, quite frankly, have seen better days, but in a lasagna they will do. They're not mouldy or anything, they're fine. God, I could be using those. Look at those poor, look at that poor excuse for a radish. It's shriveled up and horrible. I have got some garlic actually. I will use that because fresh garlic, I always think, tastes stronger, and I got a mini little bit of chilli, than the garlic puree. So, I will use the garlic puree in the other thing that I'm going to make that's going within the lasagna. It'll all come clear. Right, to start with, I'm going to do the little oddity that's going to go in here. So I need a little bowl, and I need to make a little bit of room. So let's clear the deck so we can see what we're going to be doing. Now in my bowl, I've never made this before, so I have no idea, again, but this is the week that I'm doing experiments. If you watched my video last night, you'd have seen me say that. So, I'm going to get my butter beans, and I'm going to strain the juice from my butter beans, leaving just a little bit in there, so not a lot, but don't get them really dry, is what I'm trying to say. And then to that, I'm going to add some pepper. Oh, I need to get some pepper. I'm a bit short on pepper. So a good squidge of pepper, some salt, and some rosemary. So 2 good pinches of rosemary going in there, and some garlic puree. Right, so that's that. Let's just get rid of this. And then what I'm going to do to that is I'm going to try and mush it, but I don't know whether I'll be able to do it with my potato masher or whether I will need to use my blender. So I'll have a go with the masher first and see how we go. Oh, it's not too bad. So I'm going to carry on mashing this mixture, and I'll come back to you when it's all nice and mashed up. I've just tried it. It's not quite garlicky enough. So I'm just going to add a little bit more garlic, and I'm going to add, God, get on, a tiny touch of water, literally just a little splash of water has gone in there, and then I'm going to mix that. And that's just loosened that thickness of those beans. I'm going to add a little bit more seasoning. A little bit more rosemary. There we go. Mix that round. Element of this lasagna complete. The second element is going to be the white sauce. So I've got my cottage cheese, which I'm going to put into a bowl. Like so. And then I'm going to add a little bit of natural yogurt to that. Ugh. You know, I try to use as many, so I don't use too many spoons, but I can't put that in there, so I need to use another spoon, don't I? And then I'll have Jason moaning later, look how much cutlery you've used. Right. And season, of course. Nice bit of salt. God, I'm nearly out of pepper. Looks like I'm putting a lot on, but I assure you I'm not. It's because I'm right down to the last few peppercorns in there. Mix that around. Now, if I had some parmesan, you know, like the stuff you buy in a tub, I would put that in there. Not the fresh one, you know, the thingy parmesan. I'd pop that in there. But what I am going to try and look for, oh, God knows where it is. Look at this. Honestly, I went through a phase of tea. This is all under my chair here, look. Fruit teas. Opened, not drunk. What else we got? Peppermint. Opened, not drunk. What else we got? Oh, peppermint, not open. What else we got? Nescafe 3-in-1s. Oh, tea bag. And then I've got one of these Tassimo coffee makers. Don't drink that anymore. So I've got all these coffee makers. Chamomile tea. Cappuccino. Don't drink that. 62 calories a cup. No, don't drink that. Cappuccino. I went a bit cappuccino mad, didn't I? 62 calories a cup. More coffee 3-in-1s. Honestly, so wasteful. Costa Americano. So I've got this bloody bag of teas and coffees. God knows what to do with it. You can't put it in a recipe really, you know. I think you put coffee, you could make like coffee flavoured something. What else could I do with it? Answer below, comment. Let me know what I can do with that. Right, I've got my stool because I can't blooming stretch anymore because I know it's right at the back here. God in heaven. Right, so I've got some mustard powder. Sorry, I'm a bit disorganised today. More than normal. Yeah, I hear you saying, what do you mean today? So I'm going to put in a good, like a baby teaspoon. So I'm putting 2 of these because they're only, that's a little baby teaspoon of mustards. Because I want it to have a little bit of, you know, oomph. So give that a good stir around. And I will taste it. Don't forget to taste it. I mean, I went to a friend's house and she cooked a beautiful meal, but she hadn't seasoned any of the food. And it was like, ooh. And I didn't like to ask for a salt and pepper because I always feel it's a bit rude to put pepper on someone's seasoning on someone's food. A bit more mustard. Can't really taste that. So another spoonful of mustard. And I think we're probably good to go with that. Right. Let's have another little taste. I will use a different finger. Better. Nice. Like that. Right. So the next thing to do is your prep your vegetables. So I'm gonna I'm not going to slice my carrots, I'm going to shred my carrots into this. Because for some reason I just don't want chunky carrot. So I'm shredding both my vegetables, but I will slice up my onion and obviously my mushrooms. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then I will come back once that job has been completed. Right, so I'm just browning off my mince, and I'm going to do this in my wok because I've got quite a lot of veggies to go in there. Not different types, but quantity of veggies, because this is going to be really bulked out with my carrot and my courgette. So just browning off my mince, and then to that, once it's brown, I'm going to add my onion and cook that off. And then I will add a little bit of my granules to make it taste quite beefy. And then we will get on with the next stage. So I need to go and switch the heating on because it's really cold. So I'm just going to switch the heating on, then I'll be back. Right, so I've turned the heat down, and I'm now going to add my onion into my mince. Drop down there. Along with a couple of teaspoons of my beef granules. Did I say teaspoons? So 1 and 2. Give that a bit of a stir around. Right, I'm going to cook them onions down a little bit, but I don't have to worry too much because this is also going into the oven, so this isn't the first part of the cooking stage. So I'll cook that down for a little bit, and then I'll come back to you in a minute. So that's been cooking down for a little bit. Now I'm going to start adding my other bits and pieces. So I've got my few chopped mushrooms, not a lot because I didn't have a lot, just what you got really. And then I've got this great big stack of courgette and carrot. And this is a good way of getting veggies into anybody that doesn't like particularly veggies. And then I've chopped up 4 garlic cloves, and I'm adding those in as well. I'm just going to turn this down just a little bit. Just need to wipe my hands and give that a bit of a stir around. And mix all those courgettes with the carrots and the garlic into the meat and the onions. So we're looking like that. So a little bit of mince is going to go a long way with this recipe. As you can see, I am yet again feeding the 5,000, not just 2 people. But we're either going to have this for lunch tomorrow, what's left, or I'm going to freeze it and we will have it for tea one evening in the week, next week. Save me cooking one evening. I probably think we're going to do that. I'll freeze it because it does freeze down very well. Right, so I'm going to open up a tin of chopped tomatoes, which I should have done earlier, I know, I'm sorry. And I need to get a new one because I think this is on its way out, this bloody opener, because I have to keep taking it off and putting it back on. Blooming thing. I haven't had a very good week. I've lost my blooming garlic press thing, and my can opener's on its way out. Hey ho. So add a tin of chopped tomatoes. Add some tomato puree. Good dollop. Some Lea and Perrin. Now I do like a bit of Lea and Perrin, I must admit. And then I'm going to put some oregano in here. And 2 really good pinches of oregano and a little bit of seasoning. I haven't got a lot of pepper, so that'll have to be it, I'm afraid. Right, and then give that a mix. I've got a bit of blooming carrot in there. Hang on, let me oink that out. I don't want him. Right, now we're going to cook that down for a little bit, but I'm going to add a little bit of water. To slacken it a little bit, because it is quite thick. I mean, you could put 2 tins of tomatoes in if you wanted to. You don't want it really, really runny, because the lasagna wants to hold, you know, it doesn't want to be sloppy. That's better. So it's not really runny, as you can see. It's juicy, and it will hold, in my opinion. So I'm going to turn that heat up a little bit. And then I'm going to think about getting the oven on, which will be 180 to 200 depending on your oven. And then you need to choose a suitable dish to put your lasagna in and construct it. I'm just going to put my tray to the centre oven, and then I'm going to get my bowl of choice. Now then, I think that's probably going to be okay. So I've got my Spanish little terracotta thing. And I'm just going to check my seasoning in here. And what I tend to do is not eat the actual meat, but sort of push it down and get the juice and try the juice. That is nice. I'm happy with that. Right. So this is going to cook down for a little bit longer. I'm going to give it 5 minutes of cooking time, and then I'm going to start constructing into my dish. So I'll come back in a minute. Slight change of plan. Change my dish. I'm going to use this metal one because it's more of a square shape. It's going to fit my lasagna sheets better than my round one. So I'm ready to start constructing. Well, that's going to fall off of there, isn't it? You can see it happening, can't you? Right, can you see from there? Shall I pull you a bit further forward? Is that better? Right, so what you need is your lasagna sheets. Like so. Get them out, ready. And then what I'm going to do is get a slotted spoon thing. Oh, honestly, which is probably in the dishwasher. Oh, lordy. Here we are. And I'm going to put a couple of spoonfuls of this mixture to start in the bottom of my bowl, tin, dish. Now, I am straining some of that juice off as I go, but I am leaving some of the juice in there. Can you see? Difficult to show you. There is some juice in there because as that cooks, that will evaporate. Right, so now I'm going to put in my sheets of lasagna, and it's sort of break to fit. Okay, so there's your lasagna sheets. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chickpeas. This is the twist, and I'm going to put a layer, if I can, of chickpea garlic onto my pasta. Then on top of that, I'm going to put 2 more sheets, 3 more sheets of pasta. So we've used 6 sheets of pasta so far. Then I'm going to put another layer of meat. Quite a generous layer. Another layer of lasagna. And then I probably should have made that last one a bit thicker. So put the rest of that in. Spoon that over. So when you do yours, make your first one a bit thicker than what I did, I think. Even it out a bit more, because this one's a lot thicker than my other one. There we go. And I'm hoping that's going to make it buttery and garlicky when it's cooking down. Okay. Then a couple more sheets. That's 9, I think. My maths serves me well. I've got lasagna going everywhere. It's alright, the dog likes raw lasagna. She'll come and eat that up, bless her. Then I'm going to put my final layer of mince on top. Now you have to work out 12, it's going to be 12, isn't it? 3, 6, 9, 12 sheets of lasagna. 100 grams is 176 calories. I will weigh 100 grams in a minute. See how many sheets is 100 grams. But bearing in mind, this is going to serve 4 people. So you'd divide it, wouldn't you? Obviously. Duh. Right, so that's that. And then my last 3 sheets are going on. 1, 2, and I can promise you this will taste so much nicer than any frozen lasagna you will ever buy. Give it a bit of a squeeze down on that last one. Then what you're going to do is get your cottage cheese mix, and you're going to pour it all over the top. Like so. Cover your pasta with your cottage cheese all to your edge, because otherwise they'll go a bit crispy. So there we go, we've got a nice layer going on there. It goes down the sides, that doesn't matter. But it's going to do that anyway, it's going to ooze, you know, down in the heat. There we go. And then finally, I'm going to just grate over. I've got a little bit of Edam. Does anybody actually like Edam? It came in one of those, like, you know, packs. It's like rubber cheese, isn't it? I used to love Edam when I was about 8. It's disgusting. Don't like it. I suppose a lot of people like it. It's not for me. So take off you put whatever you want in. This is what I've got in the cupboard, so this is what's going in. Because we won't eat this other than, you know, grating it on top of something. Oh, here it goes. Now I've started using one of these, and it's a really fine grater, and it just means that you get a lot more for your buck. So I've got to get my little scales down. If I can fit them amongst all the blooming rubbish I've got going on here. Not very tidy. Right, so switch them on. And I'm going to cut myself off a little bit of cheese. That's 15. But this isn't low fat cheese. I don't know what Edam. Hang on. Let's get me book. Cheese. I expect some of you know what this is and you're shouting at me. Cheese, cheese. Where are you? Oh my God. I'll get there, don't worry, I'll get there in a minute. Oh. Dairy products, butter, cheese. Cheese, cheddar, Edam. 4 sins for 25 grams. Wow, that's not bad, is it? So let's have 25 grams. Because this is for 4 people. Oh, that's going to be too much now. Right, that's 30. I ain't going to quibble. Where's my thing? So I'm going to give a little bit of a grate of this. And as you can see, you do get, appears that you get a lot more. And just grate your cheese on top, like so. I'm getting bored now. Voila. I expect you're getting bored too. Watch me grate cheese. That'll do. Right. And I'm just going to put a little sprinkling of rosemary on top and a little bit of oregano on top. And then I'm going to pop that in the oven on a tray just in case it decides to ooze all over the oven floor. Not a good thing to happen. There we go. As you can see, that is quite a big lasagna going in the oven. And you're going to get, I mean, you could probably get 6 pieces out of this, I reckon. If you cut that, where's my thing? I'll choose this. If you were to cut that, can you see? From there, 1, 2, that'd be a reasonable size slice, I think. Definitely. You could get 6 out of this. Right, so let's pop it in the oven. Let's get it cooked off. Right, it's going to take 20 minutes, and I will check it at 20 minutes, and we will come back. But I'm just going to weigh 100 grams, what was it, of pasta sheets. So it's 1, that's 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 is 130 calories. So 260 calories if you're calorie counting, is your pasta. But that is between, if you're cutting it into 6 portions, okay? You work out, you work it out yourself. Yeah, I don't get in trouble. So that's that. So that's if you're calorie counting and you want to count the sin value of your pasta. Right, so I'm going to tidy this mess up, and I think, oh God, it's still only 5:30. I thought it was gin time. Gin time is after 6 o'clock. I've got half an hour. When it comes out, I'll have a gin. I sound like an alcoholic. I'm not. I only have one a week. I'll see you in a minute. Right, I think we are ready. I'm just about to get this beauty out of the oven. Right, so it's had 22 minutes it's been in. Right. Oh, God. 1, 2, 3. Hey, up. There we go. It's nice to turn that off. God, blimey. Right, let's turn that radio off. So there we have it. There is my Slimming World friendly lasagna. Now then, what I would say is, before you cut this or do anything with it, let it stand for a good 5 minutes. It won't go cold, I promise you. But it all just needs to sort of settle, you know, where it's all bubbling up and it's all oozy and delicious. And very, very hot, piping hot. And it just needs to settle down and just sort of calm itself down a little bit. So once it's calmed down a little bit, it will be a lot easier to cut. And to be honest, it would be even better tomorrow. So if you cook this the day before, and then just warmed it through, it would be just as delicious and probably a little bit easier to cut. And I always find that if you reheat food the next day, like a chilli or a spag bog or something, I think it tastes nicer, because I think it's sort of taken on all the flavouring during that time that it's been stood, and it tastes really tasty, really tasty. So I'm just going to let this stand for a good 5 minutes. And then I'm going to cut it up into a couple of slices for us for tea. And I will do a little taste test for you. In the meantime, oh, it's nearly gin o'clock. I'm going to get myself a gin. So I've waited, and it's still piping hot. I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that steam coming off it? Yeah, I think you can a little bit. And you can see all the layers going down there. All the pasta's cooked beautifully. And it's got a bit of juice, but it's not sloppy, you know. It's keeping its form, so to speak, and it's not just all going whoosh in the plate, which you don't want. You want it to hold nicely like this. So that's what it looks like. I have cut my lasagna into 4. Now I know I've mentioned 6 pieces, and you know, quite frankly, that would be, half of that would be still would be a good portion size. But this is all we're having for tea. We're not having anything with it. So I have cut it into 4, and it gives you 4 very generous slices. So we've got another 2 to either go in the freezer or to have tomorrow. So I will give it a little try for you. Very deep. Right. Nice. Now, those butter beans are down in there, and I can taste those. They taste creamy and garlicky, and they do give it another element, which I like. It's nice. So if you're going to do it, try it with the butter bean layer. Let's have another mouthful. Very nice, garlicky, creamy and cheesy without loads of cheese on top. Very nice, and a really healthy alternative to a full fat lasagna. So I hope you give it a go, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. Comment below what you think, and catch me again soon. Chin chin, happy Friday, have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.